Hello. Please listen to me. It's for your own good. I feel compelled to warn you of the danger that was recently unleashed upon the internet. I don't have much time left as it is. I feel that he draws near. I like to surf the net, as most people do. Sometimes, the internet gets boring though, and I find myself having nothing better to do than go on the anonymous webcamming site known as Omegle. I'm sure you've heard of it, as it's notorious for having those perverts jerking their junk on cam. Well, I went to Omegle for the first time in forever. I guess they have this new feature where you get paired up with people that share your interests. In addition, they also let you access Facebook and use your interests on there if you want. I decided to try it, and began my random webcamming spree. The first few people just skipped me, and then there were those many idiots I had skipped for jerking off. But then it happened. He showed up on cam. A man dressed in black, appeared to be in a robe or gown, wearing what looked like a well-detailed, semi-expensive sort of jack-o'-lantern-like creepy pumpkin mask. I couldn't really tell what the mask was made from though. The man on camera was waving at me creepily. I had gotten kind of freaked, but then laughed and asked if he could take his mask off. The man was silent, and just shook his head no. I found that to be a bit unsettling. Time passed and I thought I'd caught on. I laughed, asking the man if this was a prank, but the man had motioned me to be quiet when I did so. I had typed to the man that I was going to skip to the next person, then typed again saying, but this is just too funny. The man then typed back, I know where you are. For the next 3 days, wherever you go, I will follow you. Whatever you do, I will be watching. I will know where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, and where you're doing it. And all you will ever see of me is this mask. Then, after 3 days, I will kill you. As if that weren't enough, as I finished reading and went to go to the next chat, I noticed that my webcam was mirroring his. He was somehow now broadcasting from my webcam as well. I saw the man point at the screen, as if to point at me with his index finger. And then, he did the cutthroat motion. At this point, I took this as something more serious, and was now on edge. I screen capped this as evidence for the police. I printed the picture and then headed to the local police station right away. On my way to the station, I noticed in my rear view mirror that the car behind me appeared to have no driver, but I did see the mask the man was wearing through the glass. When I arrived at the station and handed the pictures to the police, they assured me that they'd be scouting my area for the man with the mask for the next few days. This made me feel somewhat safe. I decided with them on a stakeout. I'd try continuing my life as normal. The next day went, and I went shopping at Walmart because I was getting low on food, and I needed to pick up milk. Something very scary happened at Walmart. As I progressed in getting the groceries as I needed, the usual bustle of the store dumbed down just as, if not more progressively. When I got to the checkout, I noticed that no one was in the store any longer, and in each checkout lane, on the counters, was a mask, just like the one that the man wore. I ran out and hurriedly unlocked my car door, just piling my groceries in the passenger seat, and I sped out the parking lot. When I got home, I was so freaked, I just grabbed all the groceries I could and ran into the house, then locked all the doors and windows. I needed assurance, so I called the police to ask them if they noticed him around, and thankfully, they didn't. I had decided to call it a night early, and went upstairs and got in bed. When I awoke that morning, I was frightened to see that, hanging on the hook of my closet door in my bedroom, was the mask that the man wore. I grabbed the mask, rushed downstairs, grabbed my keys, and rushed off to the police station. I showed them the mask, and they had told me to stay at friends for the night while they investigate my house. I called my buddy Brad. He always gave me a place when I needed it. So that night, I headed to his place, and we stayed up playing video games while I explained my situation. To my shock, he said he'd encountered the same man just a day before I did, which would make this his third day. Later that night, while we were asleep, I was awoken to a loud noise coming from Brad's room. Scared, I crept upstairs to check on him. I was horrified at what I saw. Brad was laying on his bed in a pool of blood, with that damn mask laying on his chest. Today is my third day, and I'm sitting at the police station on Brad's laptop typing this to warn you all. Beware of the Pumpkin Man. I don't know what will become of me, but if this post gets around and saves as many lives as possible, I'm content. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like, and if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Creepypasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.